Good night, everyone. Today is Monday, October the 17th, and another week of trading start today. The market is being very predictable. It's being follow our counts. All counts out of the 20 pairs, they've been doing exactly what we say they're going to be doing since the morning and since yesterday, so no surprise at all. Now, after going over the 20 pairs in the 1 hour and the 4 hour, we saw that the US dollar move. It was very strong. I would say very strong move in favor of the dollar. Like we've been saying yesterday, guys, always try the safest path on the market, but don't lose the view of what it can become. In other words, with Elliott Wave, there is nothing like the Elliott Wave edging. In other words, when the market is calling one way, no matter if you are a bull or you are a bearish. When that's the case, is when the market becomes predictable and as easy as it is today. Now, everything indicates, like we've been saying all over the weekend, that the US dollar is going to get strong in 3 ways. Now, those 3 ways can become 5, because as you guys know, to get to 5 ways, you need a 3. And as of right now, we're going to try to go over most of the pairs due to the fact that we have an issue with recording of the seminar today, the forum today, and then we would like to let you guys know what we think. The most important things out of the whole pairs is oil. Oil just finished doing 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. In other words, it did 5 ways to the top. That was oil. Now, oil, if you take a channel here, is testing the channel, and it hasn't broke out of the channel yet. Now, let's try to analyze this part right here, like in a short time frame. From the top right there in oil, what we see is a possible ABC WS. I'm sorry, ABCWS ABC. So technically what we got in oil from the high is a corrective move. What does that mean to the whole market? To the whole market, that means that all the move that we're seeing in the dollar most likely is going to become a 3-wave move. That's what oil is telling me after seeing the overall market. In other words, oil possible ended with this low right here, a double zigzag within the wave A. When you got A, let me put the label so the guys can get what I mean. Technically, you got W there, and then you got S right here, and then you got another 3-way swing when you got a B, and then you got right here you got Y. So this should be a biggest A. In other words, this should be the first leg of a 3-way that should be destined to become corrective in oil to the downside. So with that in mind, we need to start looking at, and I really suggest to all you guys to watch the seminar yesterday, because this is proving that the path should follow this path. In other words, if you take a look at it, this in the biggest picture, this should follow this path to, let me put a 4 hour. This should follow this path. Of course, A right here can get in the way of, so far it did 7-way, but it can do a 15-way to the downside and become A as a W, and then you got 3 backs. But most likely the move in oil, I would say with 99% insurance, is a B way. Now, if oil is in B way, that means that the C way is coming sooner or later in risk. And then we're going to see this all around the market. The US dollar index, as everybody already know, ended A, and we expecting A, B, Z, and then another 5 downs to around 70, 75, 74, 90. Short time frame on the index, we see the 5 ways down, and it looks like the first leg of the move higher is already on the book. Now, I can tell you something, guys. I've seen it before. Won't be the first, won't be the last. No matter what is your buyers, because my buyers is tonight is to buy the US dollar. The US dollar needs to be bought tonight with everything you guys have. I don't see anything that denies that view, to be honest. Markets always can surprise you. Markets always can surprise you, but no matter what it is, Elliott Wave edging the dollar at least minimum is gonna trade tomorrow most likely to around 78.14, 78.54, and extension 79. Of course, it can get away of a double zigzag, triple zigzag. It can get as many corrective way as the dollar wants. But at the end of the day, it's to the upside. The trend is in favor of the dollar. And like I say, you never get surprised, and won't be the first or the last one that the market surprise everyone, and maybe the dollar does this. And this was a flat. But well, that's a long shot, but you gotta be in favor of the dollar to take it. That's all I can tell. Now, moving on to the individual pairs. So the dollar is gonna go higher, or it's gonna go to the C way. It's one or the other. There is no other way around. Now, let's move on to the individual pairs for a little bit. On the individual pairs, we're going to start with the metal groups. I want you guys to divide the market in 2 ways. Either is the metal groups, and then the US dollar groups, and then correlated you're going to have the yen, the metal, and the dollar. So let's start with the clearest pattern between all the metals group. That pair is the Aussie yen. The Aussie yen, it did by textbook. It did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you guys to look at it at how I want you guys to look at it how the 618 is the 5th way it went to the pit, guys, to the pit, to the 618 of the proposal 1, 2, 3 wave. So that's a beauty. But what you got from the lows in the Aussie yen, same with every metal. You got 1, 2, 3 ways. At 3 ways, you always need to look at it that the low can be taken as a first scenario. But no matter what it is, you can see that you're going to have, at least in the most bullish of the case, you're going to have a 3-way back to minimum 76.15, 75.17, or 73.94 before going higher. I mean, that's the minimums that you're gonna get in the Aussie yen. That's the minimum downside that you're gonna get in the Aussie yen. So technically speaking, from there you're gonna see A, B, C as the most bullish scenario. But this can be a B, and you always, when you got a 3-way move, guys, is different than when you got a 5. When you got a 5-way move, the chances that you're gonna continue to go higher are more higher than when you got a 3. When you got a 3, what it's telling you is that this low at one moment is gonna be breaking to the downside. In other words, you can have A, B, C, and then from there you can see a 3-way move, and then, like I say, if it was a 5 like a euro, I can say but all the metals all they did were a 3-way move to the upside or downside. So keep that in mind. My advice to you guys, play it with the idea that you're gonna get the C way on the B, but always leave a little door open just in case. Now let's take a look at the Aussie yen in the 15-minute chart. Let's put the RSI and let's see how clear. This is the clearest structure out of the whole metal group. You can see from the top 1, 2, 1, 2. You see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very clear structure there. When you got the 5-way, this is the low of wave 3, and then from there we should get a 3 ways back. Now, why do I start with this one? Why? Because when you take a look at pairs like Aussie dollar and even most the CAD, the count is not that clear like it is with the Aussie yen. The Aussie yen is very clear, the count is. So I believe that ended with 5 equals 1. No, it didn't get there. But the count is very clear. Now, what you should expect later on today? You should expect 3 ways back in Aussie and continuation of the risk-off trade. In other words, continuation of the dollar strength move. Continuation of the dollar strength move. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen with the risk-off trade. Aussie yen is a very, very, it reflects the risk-off trade very well. So what I'm expecting is, like I say, a 3 wave or risk-on trade, and then another 5 legs down. All right, that's what I'm expecting. Now let's keep going around the metals group. Now we're gonna go let's go to the cat. And then the cat did a very powerful move out of the lows. This is a cat. Sorry about this. This is a cat out of the lows. It did a very powerful move, but the move, it can be counted as a 5, but if you take a look like Aussie, and in cat, guys, very simple. Let's say that this is 1 of A, this is B of 2. Do no matter what it is, the cat is gonna trade 104, 105 area, and we're gonna go to the 15 minute, to the 4-hour chart after. But before, let me show you this. You see how clear it was for the Aussie trade, right? The Aussie yen, very clear right there. Now let's take a look at cat. There is divergency, and there is possible that these are the 5. So if these are the 5, our entry is down here, guys, believe it or not. Now you can take right here, you can put, and the most that he can go to the downside is around 101.16. He can go 86, but well, our stop is right here, and I see a 5, and after seeing all the pairs around the market, I don't see any anything that say that this is not a 5 ways and that we shouldn't get another continuation to the upside. That's how I feel it. That's how I feel it, and I believe that we are right. And guys, looking at the cat in the 4-hour, we can see this. Looking at the cat within the 4 hours, we can see this. Like I say, this is our preferred scenario when we have A, B, Z, or W, A, B, Z. That's our preferred count. But don't get out of your mind, again, like I say in the Aussie yen, that all we got like I say, all we got from the top is a 3-way move, guys. Anytime that you see a 3-way move, you gotta take into consideration that this can get legs to the upside. So in the next 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is no channel that you can say that that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, or this is A, B, C. But you got corrected downside, and that move in 3 ways to the downside means that in some degrees this high is gonna be taken sooner or later. That's why I'm favoring 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's why I won't close the deal, the trade that we have, even if we get to the entry point, because I know that sooner or later this high is gonna be taken, because this is a 3-way move. Now let's keep going. Let's go to Aussie. This is a very extensive video, guys, so you guys can get an idea about it. Now Aussie, And now see, again, same scenario, you got a 3 ways to the outside and you got 5 ways to the downside. So, in other words, minimum, you're going to see 95, 50, 98. So, you guys can see that all the pairs within the metals group, they are showing the same path. Look at New Zealand, same scenario. One clears than the other, but at the end is the same result. Minimum 3 ways move to the downside. So you guys can pick which one you guys can sell, but everything is a good sell against today's high, because at least another leg of continuation to the downside, it will happen. Now, let's move on to the dollar group. Let's start with the euro dollar. The euro dollar did a 5-way move out of the high. The euro dollar broke below the outtrend channel that was coming from 131, and the euro dollar should now trade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it looks like it did an ending diagonal here. It looks like now we're gonna visit the look at the RSI. So seeing it outside of the channel, as seeing a divergence on the RSI is enough for me to start selling it around 38.20, 38.40, 38.69, looking, like I said the other day, like I said yesterday, no matter what it is, the euro dollar is going to trade lower in 3 ways. If it surprises you, good. Surprise me. That's the way it is. If it's bad, looking at the 4-hour chart, you can see this. You can see that, let me organize a little bit. Everyone knows now that it stopped at the 5=1. We did a video today, so no need for that. Look, it broke below the channel, and it was powerful move in 5 ways. So no matter what it is, if this is A or 1 of 3, it can be. I keep saying that it's a 3-way move to the downside, but I have to make that. I have to let you guys know about it, something that the first leg, it was kind of small. And don't get surprised about anything in this market, guys. But my advice to you is this: sell it thinking about 35 area, 34 area. If it makes a new low, welcome. We're gonna be on the market running the new low. I want the euro dollar to fill up the 3 orders tonight. I really do. So keep that in mind, that no matter what it is, if it's gonna do this or if it's gonna do this, it's gonna happen. That's Elliott Wave aging at his best. All right. Now let's move on now to cable. Let's move on now to cable. In cable, you have three ways to the upside, but cable didn't participate too much today. It was very strong. What you got from the top, and a three-way move. So don't get surprised in cable to see 159.19 in place. I doubt it, but don't get surprised. It is very possible. Like I say, every time that you see a three-way move, think about it breaking the high. That's what I say in New Zealand, CAD, and Aussie. Aussie yen, all we got from the top was a three-way move. So you have to think that the lows on highs can be taken. Keep that in mind, guys. Now, what else we're missing? Let's move on now to the Norwegian Krone. Another pair that it did after 5. This one did a 5 ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 5, now did a 5. So what are you expecting tonight in Norwegian? You expecting this. B and Z minimum. Now, let's move on to the 4-hour chart. I want to show you Norwegian in 4-hour chart. And I was saying yesterday that the market is consolidating the move that started in May the 4th. Now, in Norwegian, what we got? 1, 2, 3. We got, how it is, 1 second. Oh my, that's my bad. So technically, in Norwegian, it looks like you got possible a flat to the upside. Look, guys, ABC. Why I put a 1 right there? What I'm missing? Yeah, because I'm counting this as a complete 5-way move. Now remember, I wasn't mislabeling there. When you got a nest on the bottom and then the resolution on the top. So technically, no matter what it is, you got 3 ways from the top, from the bottom. Now, from here, how many waves you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes a 3, a 4. But what it matters the most is that this part right here is a 5-way move, which means that you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In other words, you have a 5-way cycle questionable, you got a 3-way, and then you got a 5, a 4, and a 5. So that's why we like Norwegian to go lowest to 146, and that's one of the reasons that we favor in this scenario. A 3-way move out of here, out of the 618. Keep that in mind. Now, what is the difference compared to the metals? That we did 5-way from the top. Now, this is a clear, that move right there is a clear, let me put it 3 hours. That's a clear 5-way move, guys. Look. That's a clear 5-way move. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I remember one of the clients, Ed, taking this move right there on the 5th way. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that takes the invalidation the scenario of the flat. For me, the whole market is in a 3-way move in favor of the dollar. Talking about that, let's move on to the Singapore dollar. The Singapore dollar is questionable. It's not as clear. We have 5 here going to the 618, which is also the bottom of the previous 2 on an extended 5, always. And then, but this move right here, which is the one that allowed the flat, is questionable. It can be counted as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an extended 5, possible. Overlapping, yes, is a wave 5, possible. So it's very questionable. That's what I'm trying to say to you guys there, is presenting the both phases of the equation. Now, in other words, what do we expecting for tonight? What we're expecting for tonight is risk on, and then after that risk on, we're expecting risk off. And we have left for last the S&P. S&P, many scenario, this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like it is right there, A, B, Z. That's our preferred count. Alternative, 1, 2, 1, 2 as a flat, down. Alternative, 1, 2, 3, a flat 4, down. But you need to know this, that no matter what it is, this should happen. So keep that in mind. I hope you guys got a great overview of the market with this video, and I apologize, and please remind me every day about the recording of the seminar. Thank you guys.